Hi, I'm Elena and I love manga. I got some new manga and manhwa and I figure before I put them up and log them into my spreadsheet, I'd tell you why I got them. The first one I got was SP Baby, which is a series by a mangaka that I really enjoy. I have quite a few of her other series, and I recently picked up the first volume of this secondhand, and when I saw that it was only 2 volumes in the whole series, I was like, I just should finish it out. So I also picked up this one secondhand, and I love buying secondhand manga because one, the price point's usually a bit better, and it's also very good for the environment that you reduce, reuse, and recycle. I have the 5th volume of Dangerous Convenience Store, which if you're a BL fan, especially if you like manhwa BL, then I assume you know this one. It's coming to a close, but it's a very good series. I'm glad it became in print. I picked up Perfect Buddy recently too, which I'm gonna be completely honest, I bought this one because I was filming a video about BL main characters that all kind of look alike, and this is kind of like the opposite version of what I was depicting, but it's still very much in the same style. So I bought it for a haul video, essentially. When I saw this online, I didn't really read it. For some reason, it just didn't gravitate to me, probably because the top was blonde, and I really don't like blonde tops. Besides him being blonde, he actually is very much my type. I mean, he's very well endowed in a lot of places. I actually am going to continue this series because after I read the first volume, it was very, very good and funny. I kind of really like the dynamic, and I like this black cat golden retriever guy who kind of has like a little hidden side to him too. He's so funny. I really did it to myself with this one to buy a new series. This next one I picked up is called Sketchy, which I saw it in a Kinokuniya when I was visiting home for winter break, and they had a display of it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if it's about artists. Turns out it's about skateboarding, and it's about a woman in her 30s skateboarding. So I was actually very excited to have a protagonist that was not a teenager but also not in their early 20s, because I am now 30 and I would like to read something that feels a little bit more in my realm of life. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop reading shoujo or BL or about couples in their 20s, because I like it all, apparently. I really also like Skate the Infinity, and even though I have some skateboarding trauma from my childhood, when I was about 10 years old, some older boys pushed me into the skating bowl and they laughed at me when I couldn't get out. I also didn't have a skateboard, so there's that. What I've read so far, I really like the art and I really like the storyline, and I think trying new things shouldn't just be for young people. Even though 30 isn't old, I feel like the world makes you think 30 is old. I'm gonna look to see if it's getting an adaptation, because I think it would actually make a really good anime. The next one I got is 10 Things I Want to Do Before I Turn 40. It's a BL because I read almost every BL I come in contact with. I really like the premise of this one, of trying new things before you hit this milestone birthday, especially when you start getting up there in age and people are like, oh, your best years are behind you and you're old now. And it's we should always want to try new things, especially if one of those new things is you want to find love. I recommend it. I always usually pick up a 1-volume manga. I don't feel like I'm committing to a series because it's just this one and it's done, and I can be I'm finished with it, until they start releasing sequel series and then you're trapped. But I wouldn't mind being trapped in this one. I have the new volume of Checkmate. I love a psychological manga, and I especially love a psychological BL, because BL can already be toxic, so when you start adding elements of psychological trauma, it gets even more hard to read a little bit. If you've ever read the first volume of this one, I almost got sick a little bit, not because it's so graphic and so horrible. No, I'm gonna take that back. It's not so graphic, but it is so horrible. And I also like a pairing that don't really like each other, but they also kind of like each other and they don't know why, and they just keep gravitating to each other and they're terrible for each other. I guess I just like reading about relationships I would never ever entertain, because if this reflects any part of your life, please seek help. I swear. But I do like this author. Checkmate is very good. I prefer the series I read before this, which I think I'm going to make a video talking about, called Stalker's Game. And I really see so many parallels with the characters, their thought process behind sort of these really twisted around relationships. And I just enjoy the writing style. It's a thinker. It's a thinker. It's not just it's also kind of a slow burn. There is spice in there, but to be honest, I don't read it for the spice. I really read it for the plot. I know that sounds ridiculous. but I do read it for the plot. And the last two things I picked up are Alpha Wolf Girl X Omega Wolf Boy. It's an Omega verse, but it's like a straight Omega verse, except, you know, she happens to be packing. And I read a couple of chapters online about it, and it did pique my interest, but I kind of fell off on it. So usually when I pick up things in print, it really ignites my fire to finish a series and to finish reading it, because as much as I love reading on my iPad, I prefer a nice physical copy to look at, and I have 1 and 3. I did buy 2. It's just coming later because I bought it secondhand. It takes a little bit longer to get than these ones that I picked up randomly. These ones are gonna get put up. I use Google Sheets to log all the manga I own because I have a little over 2,000 volumes of manga. After a while, I can sometimes forget like which specific volume I have, so I have a system to tell me what I have, so when I'm shopping I don't buy duplicates, which has happened on many occasions, unfortunately. And I am glad I'm doing this because I actually forgot to log the first volume. I'm gonna take some time and do that. Okay, so with everything logged and my new count updated, I am now at 2,313 volumes of manga. I don't like being on an odd number, but I'll be happy when the second volume of Wolf Girl Omega Boy comes, because I don't log it till I have it physically in my hands. But let's put them on the shelf now. I have to shuffle some volumes down so I can fit Alpha Wolf Girl, because my shelf that has my A's on it is actually quite full. I'm hoping that I don't have to shuffle too many because I have a Demon Slayer box set, and I'm trying to keep things as alphabetical as I can because I want to put a little figure of Giyu in front of my box set, because I have a figure of him that I want to put right in front of the box set, and right now it's like really centered, but it's about to not be, and I'm kind of upset about it. I only had to move one from my shelf that had my Haikyuu on there to fit the fangs, but now I have another problem. I also have some Funko Pops of Haikyuu that I want to display, but so I don't want to break up the series, so if I end up having to like lift and stack them just so I can keep them together, I might have to, but I don't think I'm gonna have to shuffle that many things around. Hopefully. Also, Fangs is really good if you haven't read it. I have all my Hikaru no Go together because I also have 2 little figures of Sai and Hikaru to put on here, but it's pretty tight right now because of all my Jujutsu Kaisen. So I think I have the tiniest space right here for a volume that I might be able to shuffle everything down. I hate not having the series together, so I don't want to move them to a different shelf because it's quite thick, but I think it's gonna work out. I'm trying to fit as many as I can on a shelf and still have series together, but I'm always mindful of making sure spines are not being bent because I don't want them to get all wavy. I don't keep up sometimes with like anime releases, but do y'all think that A Condition Called Love is gonna get a second season? I feel like shoujos hardly ever get a second season. I think I read that Honey Lemon Soda is getting a second season. I think it's cute. Okay, it's a little loose. I didn't have to move... Well, I did have to move the 2 fangs because they would have been separated because there's only enough room for one of them. But with my new Dangerous Convenience coming in, I think volume 6 comes in a few months, or maybe early fall. Whatever. I'm going to get a new volume of Dangerous Convenience, which means there's a little bit of space for it already designated, which is nice. And I didn't have to move my Demon Slayer off center too much because look at my cute figure. I got a little Giyu to put right here. I've never opened it, and I'm low-key kind of afraid because I don't really open my figures because I'm not always an inbox collector, but I'm also afraid, like, what if I don't know how to use them right? I get nervous, okay? I have to really process through something before I do it, and I think he's gonna look so good right here. I don't know which one of him I want to be. I think I want this version, like I want this one to be the one that's displayed because it's got like this really big, nice standing piece. These are also the ones I got for my Hikaru no Go manga, and I really want to finish that. Don't clock me for not having a finished series of it, but I can't get the last like 3 volumes I need because they don't have them in print anymore, and the secondhand prices are crazy. I'm also going to make sure that I'm still saving space for the ones I took out because I'm reading them right now, because I bought them a while back and I was busy on school stuff and I couldn't read them, but I'm trying to catch up now that I'm almost done. I'm almost done with my finals. I have one more thing, which means these are back on the back burner because I need to focus, but this is helping soothe my brain so I don't lose my mind. Punch Drunk Love goes here, so that's enough space for it to go back on the shelf. My S is a little tight. I put my sketchy already there, and it looks really good next to my sign of affection. But I should have enough space for it here. And I do. I have just enough space. I'm gonna have to... Okay, it's fine. I have the shelf space to move stuff down if I need to. But I want to make sure I'm keeping it tight because I have this really cute standee for my Satsuki and Miyano volumes. And it looks so cute in between them, half and half split style. I also have these really cute light up devil fruits that I keep with... I don't just own one volume of One Piece. I own quite a mini volume of One Piece. They're just not here. I keep the devil fruit with that one volume. And I actually sometimes use the devil fruit as a light behind my standee because it looks like they're in glow. It's so cute. I love it. I have this one volume left to log, and I'm trying to decide if I want to put it up here with my Alpha Wolf Guard, because usually in my spreadsheet I keep numbers at the front with A's, but that shelf is kind of tight. So I was thinking maybe I'd put it down by my Y's, like the end of mine. So like all the alphabet and then the numbers. But it's not like that in my spreadsheet, which would bother me. I really don't know. I really don't know. Because this one's really tight. It shouldn't be this hard of a decision. Like it really isn't that hard of a decision, but I really overthink it. Do y'all do numbers first or do you do numbers last? Because I'm thinking I might switch it up and do numbers last. That'll cause a problem when I get my plus anima because I consider it a... whatever. I think I'm going to do it last. That seems wrong. I'm lying. I lied. I want it in the front and I can't stand it. And with that incredibly hard decision, all of my manga has been logged, has been updated, and is in its proper place. I'm excited. I love seeing my manga on my shelf. It makes me happy and excited that I have my own little library, which is my goal. Also, do you like my Sailor Moon backpack? It's reversible. It's got the Dark Moon arc on it. I really like it. I wore it. I'm not short. I'm average sized. My shelves are just tall, but I wore it to the Sailor Moon Live, and I got a lot of compliments on it because those in the know about Prince Diamond, which has nothing to do with my manga collection, but like, it's here. And thanks for watching this really weird, chaotic video. I don't know what I was talking about most of the time, but yeah, I have something to say about Checkmate coming up. But yeah, thanks for listening to me ramble. This video has been over for a minute, but yay, I'm Elena and I love manga, if you couldn't tell. I gotta go.